Jake, just off the track from your lap of honour, what's your immediate thoughts after the silver medal?
Yeah, it was so close. I really wanted to win that. If I could come from the season and call myself world champ over 15 and European champ over 8, I'd have loved that, and I came close. The 8 is a brutal game. Like, you can't really give a gap, and I knew from the semi-final with Mariana that if he got a gap, it was tough to close, and I got closer, but still not quite close enough. My biggest probably weakness is that I struggled to get in a good position the first 200 just because I'm not quite as quick out the blocks, and I tried to do that and ran a lot better a race and was rewarded with silver, and just couldn't quite fight past them in the home straight there. That was a tough straight, and I was just willing, not myself, I felt like I wasn't going to die, but I also wasn't going to push through, so I was hoping that he was going to just overstretch and come back to me, and it just ended up being very close. I thought about a lunge at one point, and I just realised there probably wasn't that much of a gap to it, and gave it a little dip, but still.
Is that one of the biggest differences between the 15 and the 8? There's just so much less margin for error.
Yeah, I say in 15 my speed is good compared to a lot of others, therefore I can close those sort of gaps and allow myself to be in a little bit worse position or sit off a little bit just because I trust that my speed is good. Whereas if we all ran a 400, I'm probably one of the slower ones, therefore my strength in that is that I hope I'm not fatiguing as hard, and I banked myself to be able to finish strong in the 100, which I did, just not strong enough to be able to close them. And fair play to him, his season has been world indoor champ and now European champ, and just glad I could show that I can race over 800 as well.
Yeah, another 200 metre burn up as well for you.
Yeah, it's I didn't really know what I wanted because I did alright from the 200 burn-ups before, so I was like, well, if it happens again, I'm in a good position, I've got a chance. And the semis just gave me a lot of confidence because I ran pretty poor positionally and I still felt strong and got through safely, so I knew I could give it a good go there, and I thought me and Ben could both get on the podium from that, which would be a great testament to how good British 800 metre running is at the moment. But it's just such small margins, everyone was still there with 200 to go, so it's literally about where you are and when you decide to make your move, and mine was nearly right today.
How has life changed for you since gold in Eugene? I mean, what's the biggest difference you've noticed about are people treating you differently?
I think with that it was that I would never probably have come into these champs and been seen as much of a threat, but because I ran alright at Eugene and also ran alright in Monaco over K, I think a lot of the guys were probably a bit wary of what I could do just because I don't race them very often, which is a good thing for me. Like, if people are scared of you a little bit, then it's always nice because it causes some to make mistakes, but they're all great tacticians, so I knew that I had to be on my game here. But I haven't really had a chance to honestly think about Worlds that much. It's been mental season, one that I never have. Just going into commies with such a short gap was brutal. Going into this after commies was like a nice change, but one of the things you forget is that we haven't really trained that much, so I've managed to squeeze a few sessions in just to get ready for it, and I just needed those rounds to kind of get a feel for it. The toughest one for me was the heat, just because it was a bit of a shock to go from running 55-second laps to I think we were 51. But yeah, I hope I can kind of open a few doors this next month, and when I'm on my break, and even tonight, I'll be able to celebrate a little bit with my mates in the team, my dad who's not obviously got to work, and yeah, just look back in the season and be proud that I've taken something away from each of these champs, because on paper that was a very hard thing to do, and it's been a constant battle with your own head to kind of motivate yourself each time to get back to want to race it and try and get one hand from them.
Yeah, it was really noticeable how much of an ovation the crowd gave you out there as well on your way around.
Yeah, there was a lot of Union Jacks, which is class because like we're in a German stadium. I didn't feel like I was ever at disadvantage. It was funny because all the Brits, we were on so late, and all the Brits before had said, yeah, the Germans get the biggest roar, but there's like tumbleweed, like nothing for the Brits. And I was like, oh, that'll be a bit like weird. And as soon as my name got called in the heat, I felt like there was a lot of noise, so I felt pretty welcome. And when they were doing the call-outs, there wasn't lane order, it was done in like an order they'd chosen, and when I was last I was like, oh god, like this is a bit of pressure, isn't it? They're pulling me out last, what they're expecting, and I nearly did what I wanted, and I hope I get a chance to race this sort of 800 champs again, just because I feel like there's a lot of potential in here. I've still not done what I wanted time-wise over 8, so I've got a few more this season to try and attack that, but I feel like I'm in good enough shape to be able to do that.
Yeah. And do you consciously take moments like that in as you're going around an Olympic stadium with thousands cheering you on? Yeah,
it's nice. There's people you see in the stadium who I didn't realise was going to be there. It's funny because the the difference between Eugene and Birmingham and there is that the crowd were right by the track in the previous two, whereas there you had to hop a barrier. So to go and see people in the crowd, my legs were a lot more lactic than they probably used to. So if I stack it here, that's not a good look after. But I'm looking forward to seeing the people from the team and my mates just having a good time tonight, to be able to celebrate not just here but my previous couple of champs, because it's been a long season. Mad, the people like Laura, like Ailish, like Matt, Keeley have been able to come to 3 champs and be able to take gold, silvers from majority of them. And I don't think a lot of people watching, especially if they haven't watched the previous ones, realise how mental the season's been, just non-stop, and we'll never have one like it. But it's a testament to be able to show how strong we are, both physically and mentally, to last this season and be able to come and keep performing, because there's no other country at these champs really who have done that.